Yo, what is up guys? Welcome to the second episode of our tutorial series on how to create your Discord bot. In this episode, I'm going to be showing you how to create your event and command handlers, plus how to make your first command and your first event listener. So, to start out, we need to download a package which is called FS. So we go to our terminal, type npm ifs, and that should download the package for us. Now, if we head over to our index.js file, we're gonna create our collections. So we're gonna need two collections, one for the commands and one for the cooldowns. If we go up to the second line, where we required intents from the Discord package, we can add a comma and require collection. And now if we go down under the config.json require, we can type client.commands equals to new collection. And now we'll create our cooldowns collection. So client.cooldowns equals to new collection. Once that is over, we're gonna assign our prefix. So we go to our config.json file and we're gonna remove this line real quick, and we're gonna assign our prefix. So you go to the first line, the token line, and you add a comma, and then you add a prefix name and you add the prefix as its value. So I'm gonna have dot as my prefix. You can have it as whatever you want. Once that is done, we go back to our index, and then here we're gonna wait a little bit and create a folder. So we're gonna create a folder which is gonna be called handlers, and inside that folder we're gonna create our handler files. So the first file we're gonna create is called eventshandler.js. You can name it whatever you want. The second file is gonna be called commandhandler.js. Once that is over, we're gonna require it in our index.js file and pass in the client and Discord to it. So we delete this line over here, and now we pass in array, and we pass in the events handler name over here. It has to be the exact name as the handler. Same with the commands handler. We're gonna put up another quote, and now we're gonna loop through them. So we type for each handler, we're gonna require backticks.handler/handler, and then we're gonna pass in the client and Discord, so we can use them inside of our handlers. Once that is done, we're gonna create our actual categories or commands folder. Let's create the commands folder first. So commands, and now we'll create the events folder. And inside of them, we're gonna create subcategories. So I'm gonna create a subcategory for commands, one for utilities, and another one for moderation. Now we go to our events, and we can create subcategories over there. I'm gonna create the client events and message events. You see how organized and good looking our handlers are. Now, if we go to our handlers folder, we can start writing the events handler first. Alright, so the first thing that we need to do is require reader sync from the package fs. So we type const, we leave this object empty for now. We're gonna type require fs, and then inside this object we're gonna get the reader sync. Simple as that. Now we'll go down a couple of more lines, and we type model.exports. We're gonna pass in the client and Discord. Gonna create another function, and inside this object we're gonna type const event folders equals to reader sync, just like this, and we're gonna pass in the actual location of the events. So /events. We're not typing two dots because fs, the package fs works from the parent file. So now we're gonna close this line over here, go down one more line, and type for const folder of event folders. And now we're gonna define the event file. So const event files equals to reader sync. We're gonna pass in backticks .events/folder, and then we're gonna filter through the folder. So we type filter files.ends with .js. So we're only gonna pick up the files that ends with the .js extension. And now we type for const file of event files, and we're gonna define the actual event. So const event equals to require. Now we type backticks dot slash event slash folder slash file. So this is the actual event file. And now we're gonna check if the event type is once. So if event dot once, we're gonna run it as a once event. So we type client dot once, and here we're gonna pass in the event dot name, the args, just like this. We're gonna create a little arrow, and we're gonna type event dot execute. We're gonna execute the args, client, and then Discord. Simple process. And now we're gonna check if it's not once, so else it has to be an on command, so client.on. So we copy paste this, copy this, we paste it here, and we change the once to on. And here we're gonna close this line so the code looks nicer. And we're done with our event handler. Now we go to our commands handler, and we start writing inside of it. So we're gonna do the same process. You can actually copy paste this over here and just remove these lines. All right, so now we're gonna type const command folders equals to reader sync. We don't need the read, we need the reader sync dot slash command. The same process as the event handler. So we go down one more line and we type for const folder of command folders. You know, open up this object. We type const, we define the command files, const command files equals to reader sync. I'm copying the wrong thing. Reader thing. Backticks dot slash commands slash folder. And now we're gonna filter through it like we did before. Files dot ends with .js. And here we type for const file of command files. We're gonna define the actual command. So const command equals to require backticks dot slash commands slash folder slash file. And now we're gonna set the command to the collection. So client dot commands dot set. We're gonna set the command dot name as the command. Simple as that. We're gonna close this line real quick so the code looks nicer, and we're done here. So what we're gonna do now is create our message command detector. So if we go to the message subcategory of the events, we're gonna create a file which is gonna be called message create. This is case sensitive because this is the new message event name. It was before message in Discord version 12. Now in 13, it's called message create. So it's very simple and straightforward. We're gonna actually get some parameters. So we type const client message equals to require discord.js. All right, and now the line under it, we're gonna require the prefix. So const prefix require dot slash config.json. All right, and now we model exports like we normally do. Exports, and the name of the event is going to be exactly then the actual name of the event, message create. This is case sensitive, like I said. And down here we're going to add our parameters. The first parameter is going to be the client as a client. The second one is going to be message as the message. Simple. Now we go down one more line and we type async execute. We're gonna execute the message, the client, and Discord. Right, now we're gonna shake our first shake. So we're gonna shake if the message doesn't start with a prefix or if the message author is a bot. We're gonna just ignore that message. So if message dot start, sorry guys, dot start. Actually content dot start with prefix, or if the message author is bot, we're gonna return Right, and down here we're gonna define the args. So we type const args equals to message.content.slice. We're gonna slice the prefix .length, and then we're gonna trim. Then we're gonna split. Pretty sure it's like that. Yeah, that's like that. And down below it, we're gonna define the command name. So const command name. We're gonna shift the args to args.shift, and then we're gonna take it to be lowercase. Simple. And now we're gonna define the actual command itself. So const command equals to client dot command dot get. We're gonna get the command name, and then we're gonna get the client. We're gonna find the command. So client dot commands dot find, and then we're gonna find cmd aliases, and cmd aliases dot include command name. Pretty simple and straightforward. All right, now we're gonna check if it's not a command. So if exclamation mark command, my M is having trouble, we're gonna return, so we're gonna ignore it again. Now we go down and check the command permissions. So if the command permissions, so if the command has permissions, we're gonna check the author perms. So author perms message.channel.permissions for the message.author. Now if author perms, so if there is no author perms, or if there is the author doesn't have the permissions, author perms dot channel has back. Sorry guys, so author perms dot has command dot permissions. Over here we're gonna create these brackets, we're gonna return. So basically if there's no author perms, or if the author of the message doesn't have the command permissions, we're gonna just return, we're gonna ignore it. What you can do is here type a message reply and send an embed saying that you don't have the permissions required. If you want to do that, let's do that real quick. You type const, it's actually required the message embed. So we type const no perms equals to a new message embed. We're gonna set the color to be red. Then we're gonna set the description to be you do not have the required permissions to run this command. All right, and then we're gonna send the message. So we're gonna type message dot reply, and the embed is gonna be embeds no perms. All right, and now we can actually delete this message. So we're gonna type let's see. So when we send this message, we're gonna delete it after some time. So we're gonna type dot then send set timeout. We're gonna set a timeout for the delete. Send dot delete, and we're gonna set it to be 2 seconds, so 2000 milliseconds. Pretty simple and straightforward. All right, now we exit out of this if statement, and we're gonna type I see here, we're gonna type const cooldowns. So we're gonna get the cooldowns collection from the client. So client, and now we're gonna check if the command doesn't have cooldown. So if exclamation mark cooldowns dot has command dot name, we're gonna set a cooldown anyways. So the cooldown dot set, we're gonna set the command dot name in new discord dot collection, or we can actually do this. We're gonna import a collection over here. We can remove the discord collection. Simple as that. Alright, and it should be it for the cooldowns for now. Now we go down a couple more lines and we're gonna define the date right now. So const now equals to date dot now. Alright, now we're gonna const timestamps equals to cooldowns dot get. We're gonna get the cooldowns from the command dot name, and then here we're gonna define the cooldown amount. So const cooldown, let's see, down amount equals to command dot cooldown, let's see, yeah, cooldown or 1 second. So if the command doesn't have a cooldown, we're gonna set it to be for 1 second either way, so we don't clog up our bot. So now we go down a couple more lines. We type if timestamps dot get dot has message author dot id. We're gonna define the expiration time. So expiration time. Pretty sure I wrote it wrong. So expiration time equals to timestamps dot get message dot author dot id plus the actual cooldown amount. Right, and now we're gonna check if it expired. So if it didn't expire, so expiration time, we're gonna define the time left equals to expiration time minus the time right now as of the message divided by 1000, which is 1000 milliseconds. And then we're gonna return a message reply. Let's make it an embed. So we type const time left embed equals to new message embed. We're gonna set the color to be red. Why isn't it working? Oh, new message embed. Then we're gonna set the description. Please wait another time left. We're gonna to fix more seconds to be able to run this command again. Simple as that. And now we're gonna return it as a message reply. So return message.channel.send. Actually, let's do this right here too. Message.channel.send. We're gonna remove this. Simple. And we're gonna pass in the embed to be the time left embed. Pretty simple and straightforward. And then we're gonna delete that message. So then the same process as we did before. Send. We're gonna set timeout. Then we're gonna type .set delete after 2 seconds again. Alright, now what we can do is actually make our code look a bit nicer by closing the lines. Let's see over here. Down here. Alright, now we go down one more line and we're gonna timestamps.set. We're gonna set the message.author.id now, and then we're gonna set timeout to be timestamps.delete message.author.id. We're gonna delete the cooldown amount, and now we're gonna actually try to run the command. So try command.execute. We're gonna execute the message args command name, the client, and then Discord. And if an error happens, we're gonna catch error, and we're gonna console.log the error, and then we're gonna send the message. We're gonna create an embed. So const error embed equals to new message embed. The color of the embed is gonna be red because it's an error. Set color red, and the description is gonna be, hold on, this the description is gonna be an error happened while trying to run this command. Check console for more details. Alright, and now we're gonna send the message. So message.channel.send. We're gonna send the embed error embed. We're gonna close this line, and we should be done if I'm not mistaken. So now let's create our first event. Alright, so we're gonna go to our index.js file. We're gonna, we actually remove the client.once already. And now we go to our client category under our events, and we're gonna create a file called ready.js. We're gonna simply model.exports. We're gonna set the event name to be the actual ready event. And now we're gonna execute the client. And now here we're gonna type console.log. The client is now ready. We're gonna add an emoji by pressing Windows dot. Let's have the green heart. Now we're gonna set the client activity client.user.set activity, just like that. It's gonna be in development, and then the client, the type is gonna be watching. Pretty simple and straightforward. And now our first event is actually ready. Let's remove this. Now we're gonna create our first command. So we go to the utilities and we create a file called ping.js, and then here we're gonna simply require the message embed. So message embed required from the Discord package. Require Discord.js. Then we're gonna model.export. The name of the command is gonna be ping. The aliases of the command are gonna be latency or lag. The permissions of the command is gonna be administrator. The description is gonna be It's gonna be sends the client's ping, and the cooldown is we're gonna have it to be 5 seconds. We need to add a comma over here, and now we're gonna execute the message args command name client Discord, and we're gonna create an embed. So const response is gonna be a new message embed. The color is gonna be that color. We're gonna set it to be green. Right. The description is gonna be the actual ping. So we're gonna add an emoji called pong. I'm pretty sure. Sorry. So Windows dot, and we don't know what's happening. And it's gonna be pong vision or ping, just like that. And then here we're gonna type client.ws.ping, and we're gonna add an ms at the end. And here we're gonna send a message. So message.channel.send. We're gonna send that embed. So embeds response. Alright, now we restart our bot, we clear our console, and see we got an error over here. Let's see what's the error. If you go to our events handler, here we go. It needs to be events, the exact name of the events folder. So we correct this error. We're gonna type node dot, and like you see here, the client is now ready, as we set it to say here. If you go to Discord now and try our ping command, so .ping, it should send us the message. It didn't. Let's check the error. Let's see, command is not defined. Here we go. It should be command with 2 M's. I only wrote it with 1 M. So clear. Let's try again. And now we type .ping. An error happened while trying to run this command. Check console for more details. That's the error message that we created. And now we're gonna go to the over here, the message create nay. It should be name instead of nay. So we clear the console again. No dots, and now we type the ping command again, and it should send us the message. Now we type latency, it should send us please wait another. So like you see, like we error handled. Now we type latency again, we it should send us the ping. And if we type the last aliases of the ping command .lag, please wait more seconds. We're gonna wait, and we're gonna get this the response error free. So let's close all of these files over here, and we're gonna see how clean our Discord looks. I mean our bot looks. This is how clean the index.js file is, the handler, event, and the command. So thank you guys for watching. See you in the next episode.